I got 99 problems, and insurance ain't one.
Yeah, debatable.
Hello, and welcome to episode 99.
99.
99 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have to do something big for 100.
I know, we're going to do something crazy. As always, first and foremost, let's read a review.
Okay.
This review is from Garrett M. I'm going to adjust my mic here really quickly.
Okay.
I recently switched to Warren and Mount's agency. They have been pleasant to work with and prompt. They helped me find cheaper rates for insurance than my previous insurance provider. Every part of the process they have has been great. Yes.
Awesome. How many reviews are we at right now?
We are at 125 reviews.
Okay. Cool.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much for anybody who has left us a review. They go very, very far, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, no, so the reviews go a long ways, like we all know. So thank you guys for leaving us those beautiful reviews.
So, quick agency update. We just got back from the trucking show, so I want to talk about that on this podcast. And then I also want to talk about the market, what we're seeing in the market, some news, some good news that we just got from one of our carriers today. But before we get into that, peak and pit.
Okay. The peak is it's 4th of July, right? This week is when this is posted. This will be Wednesday, the day before 4th of July. So we're going to be off Thursday and Friday. Be nice to we don't have really much going on, which I'm kind of excited about, because I feel like anytime we've been off recently, we've had a lot of things going on. So that's probably my peak, is just to kind of go with the weekend, or to go with the longer weekend, and celebrate and have a good time.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Same thing. Being on a boat. I'm like so excited. I feel like it's been years since I've been on a boat, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's been a long time since I've been on a boat.
Yeah.
And I'm very much looking forward to that. We're going to spend several hours out on the boat on 4th of July, hoping that the weather cooperates with us. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'm also really looking forward to some things happening in the agency. We are growing and expanding, and that's really exciting. I'm really excited for the personalities that are coming on.
Yeah.
So lots of really good stuff there. What about a peak for you? Or I'm sorry, a pit.
Pit. Okay, yeah. So a pit, it would be, it's hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
I just came inside from lunch today, and I'm just like, gosh, it's just so hot. So again, I think it's going to be like that this weekend. So it need to be by some water.
Yeah.
But that's the only pit that I have going on right now, I think, is just how hot it is, because you can't really do anything when it's this hot.
Yeah, when it's like unbearably.
Yeah, it's humid, and it rained a ton a couple days ago, so like it's just
Yeah. I think for me, the heat is definitely a thing. There's nothing like substantial that sticks out to me as far as a pit goes. I really don't have anything. I cannot think of anything. Normally I can think of something.
Yeah.
But
it's okay.
Yeah.
So let's go into the topics. So we this past weekend we went down to Houston and went to a Texas trucking show. So we have a trucking department in the agency. We insure semis, box trucks, hot shotters, anything of that nature. And they always put on these big expos at different cities, and it's good for vendors and anyone who's involved in the trucking industry. There's insurance agencies there. There's vendors that these trucking companies can use their services, right? So we were down there. We had a booth. We took the team down there. First time doing it, didn't know really what to expect. I feel like our booth looked really good. We got quite a few leads from it, quite a few connections from it. We got to meet David Campos, he owns a Facebook group that has around 140-some thousand trucking companies on there.
Yeah.
So that was the first time getting to meet him in person. So that was cool. We got to hang out with them, go to dinner with them. So yeah, it was a really good time, good bonding time for the team.
Yeah, we had fun.
And I think everybody had a really good time.
Yeah, we did. We had a good time. Designing the booth was a lot of fun. It's also good to, go and see the way other businesses set up their booths. There were so many different types of companies. Like right next to our booth, there was like a cleaning company. And it's not the type of cleaning company that comes in and like cleans your office. They offer a product that like will clean, in this instance, clean the wheels of your tires. And so that could be beneficial for, for the truckers. I had my jewelry cleaned by this cleaner. Anyway, there's all these different types of companies there. So it's interesting to see the way all these other companies market and what kind of ideas they have for marketing. And I'm always thinking like, how can I implement something that they're doing with what we're doing? Yeah. Maybe, it doesn't work every time, right? I can't implement everything, but I'm always trying to challenge myself in ways of which, how can I make this better? How can I improve what I'm already doing?
Yeah.
So, but the design that we did for the booth, Caleb kind of brought me an idea that I really liked for the booth design, and then I kind of took that and spun it so it does not look like what he gave me at all, but it has some characteristics that are similar. Yeah. And I feel like it looked really, really good.
Yeah, I feel like it really stuck out. I feel like the color, our color looks really good. I feel like we had a really good time with it. It was, sometimes those things aren't the most fun thing to do, but you got to, get as much as you can out of it.
It can pay a lot, though. The thing with the commercial auto sector of our agency is insurance is, it meets a level of importance in its subjective importance to various different things. So for example, home and auto, you need home and auto. It doesn't matter whether you're with us or with the next person, you need home and auto. And with commercial auto, you need home and auto, but that insurance is a source of livelihood to a family. Realistically, any kind of business insurance is that way. Anyway.
Yeah, no, these guys pay a lot of money, so their biggest expense in their company, in their business, is going to be their insurance usually. So if they can help, save cost and still get the same kind of coverage, that's a big deal for them. So being able to provide that service is really cool, because again, more money in their pocket is more money in their family's pockets.
Right.
So so that was cool. Did the trucking show, got to hang out with the team at night. Went to dinner, went to a couple cocktail bars, so had a good time with all of that. What else? What else we got going on?
The insurance market. I wanted to touch on the insurance market. Really for the past, 7 to 8, 9 months has been challenging for business owners that are in the insurance industry, and then also the clients. It has been challenging. The increases, for the client's perspective, the increases have been substantial.
Yep.
For us, it's been challenging to explain why this is going on. Yep. Right? Some people are understanding, some people are very angry, and they're just very angry.
Yeah.
So in many different ways, it's challenging. The insurance companies themselves have been bleeding money, so it's challenging for them. It just kind of sucks all the way across the board. But on the horizon is some good news. Do you want to share What happened today?
Yes, so we had a company come in, and the big thing is in insurance is profitability, right? These insurance companies, that's how rates are. Like, that's how rates are. That's how they come about, right? Is how profitable the insurance company is. So, with everything that happened in COVID and all the big storms that are happening, and the spike in labor and lumber and just anything in general, right? The spike in cost of labor for cars, the cost of cars. Then you have your cell phones. You have people distracted while they're driving. You have all these different things that are going on that's really affecting the market, and everything in insurance is delayed, right? So what we're seeing right now is insurance companies taking huge losses because they haven't had their rates where they need to be at, right? Because anytime you see an increase in everything on the outside, the insurance company's not ready for that, right? They're not ready to pay out those extra amount of cost for those claims, so they have to make that up in the rates some way somehow. So that's what they're doing now. That's what they've been doing for the past, probably say year and a half, 2 years. But the big thing is like I said, profitability. And we just had a company come through. They have been profitable almost the last 12 months in the auto industry, on their auto product. So that's been big. So that's a good sign, right? That means that they are charging the right amount of premium, right? That the rates are right, and then that will hopefully get us back into some consistency, okay? Which is all the consumer wants. They want a consistent rate as much as possible, right? They don't want to see the ups and downs. If they see it down, that's fine, but they don't want to see the ups, right? And anytime you see downs, like that means the company's usually maybe not always looking out for the future of it. It's almost like they're trying to look at a short term. So I like consistency with rates. That's usually the best scenario in my opinion, from my experience.
Yeah. So our sales guy from Travelers came in today and essentially told us that there's good news happening on their side of things. They're going to open up the auto market. When they say open it back up, it's kind of like this weird way of saying we know that our rates have been not competitive in any form or fashion for the past X amount of time, but we're soon to be walking in some much more competitive rates. And in addition to that, they're willing to write monoline, which is a fancy way of saying a single policy by itself. So historically, the way it's been for a lot of our carriers is you have to write at least 2 policies in conjunction with each other for the account to be eligible with the company. So for Travelers, you had to do auto renters, or you had to do auto home, or an auto and something else. And so now they are not only offering competitive rates for auto, but they are also offering single line auto policies. So that's going to be really, really helpful for us. And we have to do like less explaining on our end, right? So that's helpful. And then on the client side, they're happier with their rates.
No, I mean that's a big deal. Again, it's been hard, right? Like sometimes, again, most of the time, it's going to make the most sense to keep everything together, right? To keep your home and auto, and your auto and renters, all that stuff together. But these carriers don't even allow us to do single line policies right now. So having a company being able to do that's an asset to the agency. So that's good, and that also shows that again they are profitable. Like they have things figured out on the back end, and that they feel comfortable with accepting new business, right? Like that's the biggest I think point here is that they're open to writing new business. Now, are they going to write somebody who's had maybe 6-7 accidents in X amount of time? Probably not. They're looking for good drivers. Telematics is a big deal right now, right? Telematics is basically the apps or the devices that you put in your car. It tracks driving habits. So figuring out or being able to utilize that, I think, is a big deal, right? Because these insurance companies it's all about data, right? So the more data that they can get, the more acceptance that more acceptability that they're going to have for a client coming on as a new client. So so if any of your agents is recommending telematics, I would definitely jump on board with that. Sure. Take advantage of it. It's a discount. Usually it's anywhere from 5 to 15%.
Yeah.
Drive good for the first, for that 90-day period or the 6-month period or whatever it is, whatever that time length is, and try to get that rate and try to get that discount, because usually it'll stay on your policy for the the remaining term, or as long as you're with that carrier.
The other thing that travelers came to us with today is, actually, first of all, let me go back to the telematics. Something cool that, on the topic of travelers, since they happened to come in the office today, they will offer that discount that was earned for the telematics for the remainder of the policy. So, like, let's say you participate in their telematics program, it's 90 days, and you earn a 15% discount. You will get a 15% discount for as long as you are with Travelers at every single renewal. So it's worth the 90 days of, I feel like some people think it's torture to have their, this thing on their phone, but it's worth it to have it on there for that 90 days, so that way you can earn a lifetime of 15% discount. So whenever those rate increases, hopefully they don't come, but if they do, that 10% increase, well, it doesn't matter. You're not going to feel that flex because you have earned a 15%. But the other thing that's going on the home side of things is, and this is where I think a lot of carriers are struggling, is losing out on property claims. So one thing that Travelers is doing is they're looking at the square footage of the roof, and homes are eligible or ineligible based on the square footage of the roof. And they're doing that because if you think about it, if your roof is taking up more real estate, it's likely, a storm comes through, you're likelier to have more damage done to your home.
Correct. Versus
if you, live in a tall 3-story, 1,000 square foot, roof, there's less damage done to
the roof is not going to cost as much, right? So, that's a good thing. It kind of sucks, actually. Just because for the consumer, because it makes it harder for people to get insurance, right? But they will come out with another product that will be for those roofs, right? But the good thing about this is that they are getting a game plan put in place to be able to, I guess, be profitable, right, and be consistent in this new world that we're living in. Right?
I'm not in any way trying to celebrate the stipulations that are in place. It's more of just
getting
the awareness, the awareness of what's going on. Because I think whenever, like for me, for example, if I have an awareness of what is going on the back end, that offers me a better explanation of how it affects me.
Correct.
So, I'm certainly not saying that it's a good thing. And then the other thing that is, again, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but the minimum deductible is going to be $5,000, which realistically we should probably be dabbling in $5,000 deductibles.
Our normal deductible is $2,500. A lot of carriers will do 1% of the structure, right? So if you have a $500,000 house, your minimum deductible is $5,000. That's not that much. That's not that much off the difference, I guess, than what they're used to. And again, there's again, that's pretty normal, right? That's pretty normal. I feel like a brand new house. I know majority of them are $400,000 or $500,000.
And that's where my kind of perspective is coming in. There are not many houses that are below $350,000 anymore. That's just not the market anymore.
Correct.
So a $5,000, there was a time where $1,000 home deductible was the way of life, and then we, when we first started, $2,500, and even when you were with State Farm.
Yeah, when I was with State Farm, it was still going up to that $2,500 mark. It was going, it was going up to that 1% mark. State Farm was changed to that percent deductible. So.
Yeah. So, changes are scary, uncomfortable, but generally for the better of the future.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's getting a game plan in place.
Yes.
So that's positive. It's getting a game plan in place, and it's basically getting back to some consistency, which is what we need.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Stability.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no 50% surprises.
Yeah.
Nobody
exactly.
likes a 50%
No,
surprise.
no one likes that.
Unless it's like a pay increase.
Yeah.
Insurance isn't a pay increase.
No, not at all. What else? I think that's it.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to come on here and chat about the trucking show. It was really important for Tristan and Caleb to put themselves out there to, show how dedicated they are to the industry. And they did just that. They both showed up.
Yeah.
They both showed out. We actually left early on Sunday and they stayed the entire time. Thank you so much to Tristan, Caleb, and Rosa for taking care of our trucking department. It doesn't go unnoticed, and we could not do what we do without you guys. So we greatly, greatly appreciate you. To all of our clients, thank you for being clients, because again, we could not do what we do without you. Thank you for anyone and everyone that has hung strong over the past. If your policy has renewed over the past 7 to 9 months and you stayed with us, thank you. God, that was tough, but we made it through. I've had a lot of really hard conversations with people, but if you were in any way understanding, thank you. If you were frustrated, me too. So thank you.
Yeah.
For
Love it.
everybody. Hey Jake, thanks for
Jumping on
thanks for
episode 99.
being you.
And yeah.
I got 99 problems, and insurance ain't one.
Yeah. Debatable.